in regard to the unnatural death is recorded at 10:10 in the morning,
That's correct.
right? So
Right.
at 10:10, the police station, in this case, the
Tala police station.
Tala PS is informed that 10:10 that there's an
Yes.
unnatural death.
Yes, yes.
Notwithstanding all this, the securing of the crime scene and the seizure and everything takes place at 11 o'clock, 11:30 in the night.
No. Well, that's why I've got timelines. Well, this is a bit
No, but-
unfortunate. I'll just give you the timeline. Exactly.
What were we doing up to
But
then?
kindly, I have given minute by minute what happened, Mullah. We have a timeline prepared for your lordships, Mullah.
Lord,
And it's backed by videography. It's not, Mullah, something that we are saying.
Lord, can I be shared with the timeline?
Yes, we'll share it. I wish you had asked, shared what you passed on to the
We
court.
don't have to
But
ask,
doesn't
you have
matter.
to give it
But
to
doesn't
CBI.
matter. Doesn't
We
matter.
were on
I
the
don't have
ground.
to request.
My lords, could we be
You are
given a
bound to
timeline?
give
You should have
everything
given
to
it
the
yourself.
CBI. You have not given.
You should have given it yourself.
Lord, I believe.
Lord, I am getting Calcutta police. Ships have, Lord.
Mullah, we have
As per records. Ah.
can't hear your lordship properly, Mullah.
As per the autopsy report,
Yes.
the autopsy was conducted in the evening hours of 9,
No. On 9th.
on 9,
On 9th.
9th August.
Yes.
Now, the GD entry
Yes.
of unnatural death case was recorded on 23:30 hours on 9th. That is 11:30.
No,
Now,
that's for the FIR. FIR. UD case was in the morning, Malaj.
But then
1:47
as
PM.
per the report submitted to us.
No, that's why I have the timeline, Malaj. It's better, your lordship. I'll
Just
give it to my
listen.
lord.
23 is the FIR.
One second, allow me.
Is right.
The scene of crime, including inquest, seizures, and autopsy, were carried out mentioning the GD entry number 542 dated 9/8/2024. Now, this GD entry was made
And 861.
and it's case number 861.
Malaj, may I, with your lordship's permission, Malaj, allow me to place the timeline before your lordship, given minute by minute as to what happened. And Malaj, if there is, kindly hold on, just give it to my lord, please.
Mr. Sibal,
Yeah.
just tell us from your record, at what time the postmortem was performed?
Yes, I tell your lordship.
From your record?
Yes.
That is, for the time being
6:10 to 7:10 PM.
in the evening,
Yes,
correct?
correct.
When you are taking the dead body
Yes,
for the purpose of performing postmortem,
yes.
is it a case of unnatural death or not? If it is not a case of unnatural death, why do you have to perform the postmortem? This
It's a
part-
case.
Just, so that
Sorry.
you can respond to it.
Sorry.
There are so many questions.
Yes,
which are
I'm, of
coming in
course.
our mind.
Right.
And we have the best of the assistance
Yes.
in your form. When you start performing the postmortem, that means it is a case of unnatural death.
No doubt about it.
Postmortem starts at 18:10 hours.
Yes,
It comes to an end at 19:10 hours.
yes.
What was the idea in registering UD at 23:30 hours. and-
That's the FIR, Malad. That's not the UD.
No, sir, no, sir.
Malad, I've just,
Just listen to
I'm
us.
sorry, I'm sorry.
Either you are right
No, no.
or
No, it
what
was
has-
FIR. FIR
You have to
was,
answer your lordship's question, Malad, without interference, please.
no, you can.
No, no, just
Yes,
one
certainly,
clarification.
certainly.
The records reveal,
Yes,
subject to what you have to further point out to us.
correct.
UD case number 861 of 24 of police station Tala
Yes.
was registered at 23:30 hours on 9th August 2024. V-Day GD entry number 576 and the FIR number 52 of 2024 was registered at 23:45 hours. Is this record correct?
Malad, may I therefore point out to your lordship, just take the timeline, we've referred everything
So
in it.
according to your record, the UD was registered at what time?
1:45 PM,
1:45?
PM.
No, that's not true.
That 1:45 PM.
How do we reconcile the two records?
Malad, I'll show that to your
Because
lordship.
we today have a report
Malad, but that I'm saying, Malad.
which indicates that this is the time. So therefore, it's very surprising. Postmortem precedes registration of UD.
No, Malad, this is what I am told, Malad, and I can only
Is
respond.
someone responsible there to assist?
Yes, yes, certainly, certainly,
If
Malad.
any officer is present, you may
Yes.
speak to him and tell us. Because if this is the fact, then it is something very dangerous.
I agree with, I agree entirely. Let me just, Malad, the officer is here.
Please,
May I beg my lords to point out one thing?
One-
The
one-
Just a
postmortem
minute.
report-
just a minute,
Just a
first
minute.
let him ascertain.
Unnatural death entry and search.
Tell him to make a responsible statement. He should not make a rash
Of
statement.
course not, Malad, no
Tell
question,
him.
no question about it. Malad, kindly see page 4 of the diary.
I thought this is.
What time is this?
Can I have a timeline, please?
Hold on. I've
No,
not
no,
even handed it to the.
You have not given, I have been requesting since.
I don't know why you are interfering, sir. I've not even given it to the court.
Just a minute, just a
You
minute.
have
Allow
given.
me to answer the court, please.
There are 3, 4 questions. which
Yes, Malad,
we would
we'll
like-
answer each one, Malad. And we can't, Malad, we have to make sure that what we say is right, Malad. So what time is this? Hmm. Yes. Malad, yes, kindly see, Malad, kindly see page 4 of what? Of the case diary. It'll give some indication as to what happened, Malad.
God.
Yes, it says, Malad, that.
UD case number 861 of 24 was registered at what hours?
1:45.
From where do you get this?
It mentions, Malad.
From where do you get?
Just trying to show. Make sure that. Date, or not?
That's common, that's common.
Don't you be careful in reading the statement.
It's all right, as long as we get the correct answer.
Correct.
No problem.
Our reports are based on the case diary they have given to us.
Just a minute, Mr. Solicitor General. They are expected to reply to our question. Why it takes so much of time? Just show the time on the document, that's all. All that you need to do is refer to that document and tell us at what time UD Again, I am repeating, 861 of 24 was registered.
Yes.
Has to be in the case diary. Just show it, the UD case document is here, we can't possibly, my lord is asking. Hard copy
ये
दो।
आपके पास पे है हर्ड कॉपी में you'll don't do it.
Something,
Yes,
when we take up this matter on the next date,
yes,
keep a responsible police officer
yes,
present here
yes, absolutely.
who had done or who had carried out all this
Yes,
exercise.
we'll do that.
He should be able to tell us.
Yes, yes.
Till this point of time, we have not got the answer, what time it was registered.
No, my lord is right.
But what time is this?
No, the question is time.
Mr. Sibal,
Maharaj, kindly see, quite frankly, Maharaj, I'll have to construct this for your lordship. Maharaj. For example, I mean, page 2 of the case diary, the UD case, requisition of the magistrate for inquiry. Just, Maharaj, kindly see, requisition
Sharma,
for inquest.
can you tell us at what time the inquest Panchnama was drawn?
Yes, we'll just tell you that. That also we have in a timeline. 4:20 to 40 p.m.
4:20
to
4:40 p.m. And now the record reveals the report which we have in our hand that UD was registered after the inquest Panchnama, after the postmortem.
That was made before the judicial magistrate to carry out the inquest mentions.
Mentions the UD.
But that's page number 2 of the case diary.
That's what we were going to point out.
Now, Mr. Solicitor General,
Yes,
has the CBI collected the record which is available to them?
yes,
They have collected it?
we have collected.
Is any officer present today?
Yes,
Who is it?
the Joint Director, CBI, my lord.
Ma'am, you have understood our question. Come to page 12 of your report which has been tendered today. Read para 10 in your mind, Page 12. Tell us, is this record correct? Is this correct?
Yes, sir. It's
Correct.
based on the documents given to us by the Kolkata.
Why are they showing us some different time? Which is the document they are referring to?
Sir,
Case diary, I have it with me.
Case diary.
sir, this is based on the GD entries and the documents given to us by the
Correct.
Kolkata police.
But look at the time which you have stated.
Sir. It's there, sir, in the GD entries, sir.
Can you
And
show us?
copy of it.
Can you show us?
Yes, sir.
I'll, Xerox
Xerox
copy.
copy, yes.
I'll just put a mark in, my lord, passing.
They are mentioning the GD of what happened in the entire day, Malaj. If your lordship look at page 2, Malaj, page 2, it says the application made to the magistrate with the GD and where the UD entry is already mentioned.
You may be right, Mr. Sibal. This is something which even the criminal procedure code doesn't prescribe.
Yes, exactly.
The entire procedure
Yeah.
which has been
Your
followed by your police,
Yes.
police of the state, it is something which at least I have not come across
Yes.
in 30 years of my,
I know. Right. I appreciate it. But Manoj, the facts must be before your lordship's mind. That's the important thing, the real
the
fact.
first thing we want to confirm
Yes.
is it true that the UD case was registered at 23:30 hours and that the postmortem and everything preceded the registration of the UD?
No,
case?
no, Manoj.
We'll have to answer.
Yes, please, Manoj.
Second question to
Yes.
you,
But
Mr.
that's
Sibal.
the second question.
Who is this assistant superintendent non-medical? Who is this person?
Superintendent.
Is this assistant superintendent a male or a female?
I believe it's a female, but I just make sure. Female.
Her conduct is also very, very doubtful. Why did she act in this manner?
I can't possibly. That's number two.
It's
Then
all right. It's all right.
Kindly pardon me, this is the one copy what we have. I have marked on the side, flapping is on the right hand side, my lord. First page,
Well, I've got the entire sequence here. GD entry 542 is at 10:10 a.m.
Malad, I have the, if your lordship don't mind, Malad, I mean,
No, I've got your documents. I'm looking at it from your document.
yes,
GD entry, it says 542, 10:10 a.m.
yes,
Says received information over the telephone
yes,
from RG Corps MCH Police Outpost that a lady of PG trainee of so-and-so MCH was found lying in unconscious state at seminar room of chest medicine department of third floor of emergency building in half naked condition. Accordingly informed so-and-so officer in charge and under his order,
yes,
leaving PS with lady police and force for causing inquiry. This is at 10:10 a.m.
correct.
just allow me to intervene.
Now, one second.
The doctors are saying unconscious, though she was already dead.
One second.
You
Now, this
don't
is-
need to
this
be a
is
doctor
one
to
second.
understand.
This is 542.
Yes.
Now, next is 576. Now,
Yes,
576 is extremely important. The PM examination over, the dead body of the deceased, the board verbally opined that the death of the deceased was due to the effect of manual strangulation associated with smothering, ante-mortem, and homicidal in nature.
Correct.
Also verbally opined that medical evidence of forceful penetration stroke insertion in her genitalia, possibility of sexual assault. They say possibility. Accordingly, PO has been cordoned under proper guard. Also, several witnesses were examined and the statement was recorded, consulted CCTV footages in and around the vicinity of the PO.
Yes.
One thing, therefore, which is very clear is that the cordoning off and the preservation of the crime scene takes place after the post-mortem report is conducted. This is what the GD entry itself says. So first, the PM takes place between 6 and 7 in the evening, after which they start cordoning off the crime scene. Now just go forward. Experts of SFL, WB, have visited the spot under their direction and able guidance. Incriminating articles and documents were seized under videography in proper seizure list after observing all legal formalities by seizure list dated 9th August. Dog squad also arrived on the spot. On the basis of the prayer of investigating agency, learned judicial magistrate conducted inquest over the dead body of the deceased under videography after observing all legal formalities. Accordingly, PM examination was conducted by the Board of Autopsy Surgeons consisting of 3 members under videography over the dead body of the deceased and declared her dead body on 9th August at about 12:44 hours. Meanwhile, so-and-so homicide, officers of homicide section, women grievance cell, scientific wing so-and-so photography, it was learned that the door of the seminar room was in open condition. Then 576. On perusal, 1 blue-colored jeans, etc., found in incriminating articles were found on the mattress, beneath the mattress on the dais. Accordingly, some people were examined. We will not read out her name, which appears immediately thereafter. Accordingly, on-duty RMO of so-and-so examined. Found that one lady was lying on her back on a mattress kept on the wooden dais inside the said seminar room in unconscious and motionless condition. She was examined in presence of lady police personnel and found some injuries on her private parts and other parts of her body. Also found that she wore whatever. After return to PS under order of OC, an UD case has been registered Vide Tala UD case number 9th August.
So this is, now it is
Now it's very
confirmed
clear.
that it
No,
was
no, no.
23:30 hours.
Page number 2, just see page number
No, but
2.
this is the case diary.
No, no,
It
see,
shows
that's
that the
the case
UD
diary.
case, that the UD case is registered
Because no, that's.
after he returns to the police station.
I don't want to, Malas, contradict, Malas, kindly see page 2
Okay,
of the case diary.
these are their documents?
Yes, 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 as given to us.
We'll part with you for 2
And
minutes.
after return to the police station, the seized articles were kept in Malkhana, white MK number 52 of.
Before that, your lordship may see the last page of this.
Would my lord,
Last but one.
may I pleading with your lordship, look at. page
Second
2,
last, my
Malas.
lord, after return to PS under order of
Okay, that we have seen.
UD case has been registered, my lord, that
Yes,
is at
sir.
2030.
Make us understand this, the circle portion. What is this?
Malas, when he comes back, he records the entire incident and then Malas repeats that. But
Oh, Mr. Sibal, oh, sorry, we can't accept this explanation.
page 2 in the diary itself, Malas, kindly have a look at page 2 if you don't mind, Malas, please.
So what is this? He has recorded minutes? The entire day's proceedings?
He has to, Malas, he has.
Why has he mentioned this 32 hours, 30
Because
hours?
he's come back at that time, Malas. At the police station at that time, Malas. He therefore recorded it. Malas, there's a lot of.
Okay, now show us one document
Yes, I'm showing. Malas.
prior to 23:30 hours,
Correct.
wherein we find this UD case number so and so.
Page 2, page 2.
Give it back to us, please.
I'm sorry, Malas. Page 2, Malas.
Of this
Page
compilation,
diary, yes,
page 2.
yes. That's the second last page, Malas, and there it is mentioned. Second last
Second last page of the case diary.
of the case diary. Page
It's
number
UD,
2.
not GD.
Case diary, my lord's page.
Case diary, page 2.
Case diary.
We have it in hard copy.
Yes, we give it to your lordship.
Let us see.
Let us give it to mine. Doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Yeah. For the magistrate would happen in the afternoon, which
That
happened
is
in the
after,
afternoon.
much after.
And you will see the diary number, Malas, 861 of 24.
Reference,
861 of 24.
even the order of the magistrate.
Even the order of the magistrate thereafter, Malas, says that.
Plus page 4.
Let them investigate. This has been inserted later in point of
No,
time.
no, 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 page 4.
Yes,
It
prima
comes
facie,
Page
prima
4,
facie it appears.
Before, Malas,
Prima
before,
facie it
page
appears.
4, not inserted.
Let them look into it. Let them look.
Ask for the report from the ACJM.
Just give it back to us. I'll share it with my lord. the
My
Chief
request
Justice
is
and my
ask for the
brother.
report.
Yes, my
from
lord, and the
ACJM,
copy
Malas.
may be given to us, my lord. I do not know whether this
Sir,
copy
case
we
diary.
have or not.
The case diary.
That's okay, but
No,
give
no,
it,
no.
give one more copy. What objection can you have?
Report of the ACGM can come, Malas. Before the ACGM, the application was made. No, 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 no.
Lord, this page may be given to us. They may have given. Let another copy be
May
given.
I request your lordship, look at page 4 and ask for the report of the ACGM report.
No, I do not know what is shown. I must say.
Malas, kindly see page, Malas, I'm sorry, Malas, I give. No, Malas, it
No,
can't
the
be-
copy of
Ex-
print of this page may be given. my lord.
Just a minute.
That's a request.
Just give it back to me, please. Only you have a look at it.
We just look at it. Yeah, yeah. I understand. Yes, I know. Now, my lord, your lordship suspicion is right. Now we read page 8. my lord.
From where? In this?
Yes, here. That's the inquest report. Give it back. This is the judicial magistrate, my lord, who carry out the inquest, and see, my lord, UD case 861. Postmortem also mentions it. So, my lord, these can't be inserted. And this is signed by the magistrate.
Here's this number.
They will have to look into.
Let them, my lord. I also magistrate's, my lord's order itself
They'll have to look into.
My lord,
Yes,
I
please. There's no
would,
issue
my
on
lord,
that.
again request my learned friend to give me a copy of this. Even if it is given, let it be given afresh.
Give a copy after I have a soft copy. Give me a soft
We'll give you a
Please
copy.
have a
We have
printout
soft
and give it.
copy. So, my lord, magistrate's order, my lord, kindly see the magistrate's order. That's, my lord, also part of the,
CD,
CD.
case diary.
I just give it to your lordship. Just give it to my lord. No, but I think.
The magistrate's order is not part of the case diary.
1 second, it will not, but I'm just saying. So
Yes.
it's not so. Kindly have a look, my lord. The magistrate's order itself. My lord, Justice Padiwala, please, my lord, I'm sorry. This is the magistrate's order. And it mentions the case number.
Documents are not with the CBI.
It's not given to us. It's not a part of case diary. That's the simple answer.
My lord, they are, and they are not producing them. They are. And I'm sorry to say, my lord,
Just a second.
because an impression is being created, my lord, that
But we don't
contrary
have
to
it.
the record.
Ma'am,
He has a.
come to page 8 of your report. Roman 14, I'm sorry, Roman 17. Last 3 lines. Is this still pending?
Roman 17, top.
Yes.
paragraph.
Last 3 lines. Is this still pending? Or the High Court has passed the necessary order and you have completed it?
Sir, it's still pending, sir. Polling
Still pending.
is to be conducted, yes, sir.
Oh.
He has the court passed.
What
not-
time?
Permission of the court, my lord, because that needs permission.
Just check.
Yeah.
We are awaiting the permission of the court, my lord, because that needs permission.
And you should pursue it at the earliest.
We are doing.
Something else we wish to point out, Madam, we're just checking something which will demonstrate, Madam.
Yes.
Yeah. Right, bring something else to your lordship's attention. Your lordships will allow me, my lords. May I just bring something else to your lordship's attention? That the seizure list at page 25 also has UD case 861. Postmortem has, seizure list has,
861.
page 25,
Case diary.
25 case diary. Inquest has everything, all documents have that.
Inquest, postmortem, seizure list.
Page 25 seizure list.
Case diary. PDF 157 of the case diary.
Yeah. This is at 8:30, your lordship notices, always before 11. So how can anybody, my lords, even contend? Yeah.
Inquest is at,
I'll substantiate that.
inquest is at 440.
And the inquest is at 4:40, my lords.
Also mentions.
And the original CD has also been given to them, my lords. It's a bit unfair to. And the original CD was handed over to the CBI in the High Court, my lords. As soon as the transfer order came, my lords. Yes, yes, yes. 1 o'clock after the post-mortem.
Victim show what additional findings they have.
only for a second. Just to remove this confusion, my lord, how this time comes.
Yeah, that's right. We've already shown documents before that. Manoj, the original CD will contain everything.
I think they have registered GDE. What is GDE?
General diary entry.
It was a procedure for the UD case. Under
Only
I'm sorry,
empathy, my
Manoj.
lords. Just to create this, my lord.
Seen the case diary, we formed the, we can, we can form a view on
Just-
what the movement of the police officers was, who went, what time the body was first noticed, what time the body is brought, what time the inquest takes place,
Correct.
post-mortem, and then finally the FIR at 11:30 in the night.
No, even this UD case has 11 to 30. That's what I want to
No,
show.
no, that's not correct.
See, the UD case.
Can your lordships just see this?
577 is recorded at 10:10 in the morning.
Yes.
Can your lordships just have a look at it?
Yes. Yes.
Can your lordships have a
Manoj,
look
they
at
have this information in the CD, they have this
Mr.
information.
Sibal, please allow
What
me
is
now.
Mr. Sibal?
Please allow me.
Allow me what? You should have shown the CD, given the CD.
Lord, I don't
The
wish to
original
fight,
should have
my
been
lord.
given in court.
In fact, this also matches with the FIR.
Lord,
FIR
there is a
says
confusion, my lord. Please allow
information
me.
received date 9th August 24, time 10:10 hours.
My lord, if your
DD
lordship
number
gives me 2 minutes, my lord.
Exactly.
My lord, I may be right, I may be wrong. Give me 2 minutes, my lord. Your lordships have, my lord, this 10-10, 10-10, my lord.
Yes, yes.
This is GDE, called General Diary Entry.
Right, at the
Correct?
police station.
At the first floor, yes, at the police station. Please, my lord, thereafter come to this, my lord. My lord, your lordship, I do not know the number of the compilation, but it is page 47 on the top.
Yes, 47 we got.
Correct?
This is the same.
Your lordship, please, Mr. Sibal,
Yes, continue.
there is
Mr.
always a courtesy to
Yes,
each
yes,
other.
yes.
Lord,
exercise.
this is 576, 2330. Correct, my lord? Now read this, my lord. In reference to Tala PS General Diary entry number 542 of date, return to PS with so-and-so, please ignore it and come to the next page. After return to PS under order of office something, an UD case has been registered with a Tala PS number so-and-so 861. So this UD case is registered, my lord. Earlier was GD entry. This is UD case at 2330 and at 2345 FIR is registered.
Well, see page 40, it just shows, Malad.
That's, my lord, how the chronology we have, my lord, presented.
Muddy the waters. It's all muddy the waters. That's what you're doing.
Just see 42, just see 42.
42, my lord.
DD number 542, dated 10:10 a.m. Received information over the telephone from Ajikor Medical College Hospital Police Outpost that a lady of PG trainee of so-and-so
So-and-so was found lying in unconscious
exactly.
state at so-and-so medicine department of third floor of emergency building in so-and-so, according to informed sector 92 OC, and under his order, Leading PS with lady police. So this is not general diary entry. What is,
That is what DD is. That's
not
what it is.
somebody has lost the
That's
life.
according to the
Don't
rules.
at least
Manoj,
laugh.
1 second. According
at
to the
least
rules,
laugh.
Manoj, that we follow,
A girl has
these
lost her
regulations we've
life
done in accordance.
in a most inhuman
That's
and
not an
undignified manner.
Manoj, these are the rules and we have followed to the T, the rules of
Yes,
the.
I will show that
of
what rules are.
unnatural death entry.
My lord,
First,
the
the Solicitor General, first a general diary entry is made. Thereafter, the police proceeds to the spot with the case diaries.
Correct.
Case, general diary is kept in at the police station.
Which
Case
is
diary
regis-
is carried to the spot.
Yes.
Now, the relevant part would be
Yes.
this part, which is a inquest report.
Yes,
This shows that the information regarding unnatural death was received and registered as case number 861 on 9/8/2024 at 10:10 hours.
That's correct.
yes.
And this extract is the general diary which the police complete
we will
after
examine
the
this
day is
aspect
over.
and come back to you.
It carries various steps that have been carried out during the course of the day.
That's right.
So that
Lord,
is
and
what.
I can assure my learned friend, this is not an attempt to muddy the water, to remove the mud
have
from the
already
water,
muddied.
because we are dealing with a delicate situation. Somebody's dignity is
Oh, come
lost.
on, come on, we all know that. We are all, it's a tragic incident, it's barbaric, and we are on the same side.
Your side
But
was
let's
laughing.
please not
That's-
muddy
that's
the waters on.
Really
investigation.
unfortunate.
The only one point which we also see is that the UD, I'll read out the relevant part. This is at page 74. Accordingly, PO has been cordoned under proper guard. Also, several witnesses were examined and their statements were recorded. Consulted CCTV footages in and around the vicinity of the PO. After post-mortem and inquest, the dead body of the deceased has been handed over to her mother, so-and-so. After return to the police station, under order of officer in charge, so-and-so, and UD case has been registered by Tala PS UD case number 861, dated 9 August 2024. All concerned, including superiors, were informed. After return to the police station, the seized articles were kept in PS Malkhana by Malkhana number 52 in the presence of ASI and constable so-and-so. Now, and officer in charge was informed. So it appears that the initial report of an unnatural death was received and which was recorded in the GD at
Correct.
as
So
5:40.
not unnatural death,
Once.
unconscious body. The doctors are informing the police that there is an unconscious
Found
body.
lying in unconscious state. That is
Not
how
a you don't have to be a doctor to
That is-
know that it's not
that
unconscious
is at,
body, it's a
that is
dead
at
body.
10:10 a.m.
Yes.
GD 542.
This is from the outpost, Malaj.
Right.
This
The
information is
unnatural
from the
death,
outpost.
the unnatural death is
Received from
recorded
police's
by
outpost.
entry 861, after they return to the police station at night.
That is how we have
And
seen.
11:30 in the night, the FIR is registered. In the meantime, the body has been handed over to the mother for the purpose of.
And that too, the
Correct.
father insists for
And-
registration of the
Yes,
FIR.
absolutely.
The hospital does not register the FIR. Father has insisted and registered the FIR.
The father told us, you wait till I tell you, then
No,
only
no, I-
register.
No.
I will give a written complaint. That's what happened. At least tell us what's been happening in the investigation and trying to say that this happened at 11:45.
The family is here, my lord.
Date has.
Yes, appealing, my lord.
One clarification which we need.
Certainly, Malaj.
If the report of the police indicates that after return to the police station, GD 861 was recorded. In the meantime, the dead body had been handed over to the mother for cremation. If this does not square up with the fact that the inquest refers to GD 861. Inquest takes place. I have the inquest of the judicial magistrate.
Right,
Judicial magistrate says I conducted the inquest at 4:20 p.m. on the 9th of August.
correct.
That inquest report refers to GD 861.
Yes,
Now, if the police say that the GD 861 was recorded on return to the police station just before, obviously before the FIR is recorded
Yes,
that
yes.
night, how is it that an inquest at 4:20 refers to 861?
My lord,
This is
kindly-
just
recorded.
My lord, I do not know
I'm
how
sorry.
it will
This is
done.
just recording.
It
This is
says
just
UT1
recording.
861.
Just
Not
an expression, Malad, it's just recording.
It says UD
Ask
861.
the ACJM, Malad, ask
Not-
the ACJM. He was there. Ask the ACJM, Malad. Everything's on record. The memo says 861. Postmortem says 861. And Malad, the real thing is the investigation. Why are we moving away? What has happened in the investigation?
My lord,
Do you have-
my lord, my friends may share the timelines with us.
Do you have the postmortem report? Yes, just pass it on.
I'm sorry, Malad.
Postmortem.
Postmortem, yeah.
Lord, the state says father,
1-3, Malad. Page
father
1-3.
did not permit registration of FIR. The father's counsel is
Page 1-3, Malad. Page 13
And he-
of the case diary.
So the state will wait for the father.
Page 13 of the case diary.
In this PM note, is there a reference of 861 somewhere?
At the top, my lords.
Where?
First line, my lords, reference.
Yes,
to the
yes,
PS.
okay.
Right on top.
Right on top. It's there. UD case number.
Appears then that at the time when the PMR was when the postmortem was conducted, UD 861 had already been there.
That's right. There's no doubt about it, Malad.
The inquest
Malad,
number is also
people are
there.
using some language, some expressions, Malad. Bengali speaking people are, Malad, using some expressions in English.
no, there is no Bengali.
Only-
in the
come on.
FIR.
The record will show,
No, why does the IO then say that after I returned to the police station in the night, I recorded?
because he has to record, what has happened all this while. That's the point.
PMR,
He is recording minutes of the
Exactly.
meeting, my lord.
But the
Which-
investigation.
The point is, we are more concerned about the investigation, what has happened in the last
Exactly,
1
that's
week.
what
At least
is
tell the
being
court that.
in the.
He's right.
there
They
is
were
one
more
right
concerned about
He
the
may inform the
investigation,
court.
which is emerging now.
Lordship, the PMR talks about 151 mg of semen. It is never in mg.
No, it is
It
not
is in
semen.
ml.
It is the
It is in.
So please, come on. now. This is the
Let's not-
problem that.
We are at the very
let-
incipient
let-
stage, but don't confuse this.
Yeah.
Don't use social media to make arguments in the court.
I'm grateful, my lord, for that. I'm grateful.
We have specifically now
Yeah.
the PMR before us, and we know what that 151 refers to.
Yes.
Yes.
Let's not use, what we read on
What is
social
happening.
media and then make legal arguments on that basis. That's
Malad,
what-
No,
I have
As a-
very.
as
God
of-
makes-
Malad, 1 second. Now, Malad, your lordships asked me that you will give me a chance, Malad, after this is over. I have a very serious issue at hand, Malad, and I want to hand over an affidavit to you. Just please give it. And I'll hand over that affidavit also to the solicitor, but only to him. Let's just give it. Just go through this affidavit, please.
They're only giving.
Only to him.
Yes, yes, I'll give it.
Well, just read through this, see what's going to happen. Para 5 onwards, page 2, Malad. These are collateral events, Malad. They are bound to happen.
This is again on social media, my lord, something on.
No, not
I-
social media. We've
with
got the
my
original.
lord, state filing an affidavit based on social media.
Just let the court please read it. And page para 8 is also important.
Check. Check 1, 2, 3, 4. Check.
Just reading it. Now, Mullah, this is
There are
hold on,
both
allow
sides,
me,
Mullah.
allow me.
Let's not go into it.
1 second. Mullah, this is exceptionally serious because they've planned it for 27th. Now, Mullah, if any protest is to be done, they must tell us which route. They must tell us what.
Tell us.
Please.
You tell yourself.
Mullah,
I mean,
normal
police will have to
procedure
come to
must
know
be
about
followed,
it.
must be followed. And mullahs, what they do is they carry flags. Mullahs, they take off the flag, it becomes a stick. And there's an SOP, there is a standard operating procedure which has to be followed, mullahs. Because what will happen, mullahs, as your lordship sees, mullahs, the whole purpose is now it's collateral events that are happening. It's unrelated to what, mullahs, the real issue is. And we've got photographs, mullahs.
I
36
support
onwards,
Mr.
we have got
Sibal. No
photographs as to
vandalism
what
should be
really happened.
permitted by the
There's
police.
all this running away from the police. We have actually got photographs.
You say they're
This is all completely wrong. The status report
Doctors
we
are
have given.
saying, Mullah,
So
we are
I
not-
will want your lordships to go through that status report and pass an order that this can't be done, Mullah, and there must be a standard operating procedure which has to be followed.
We'd like to see, we'll come back after lunch, we just want to see your status.
Yes, Mullah.
We just-
Obliged. I'm deeply
Lord,
obliged.
Lord, may I
Right now.
just
Deeply obliged.
say,
Come back and see yours, because we've
Lord-
examined CBI status.
Yes, now your
report.
lordship
We are
make
using
that.
to examine.
Lord,
time.
may I just say to my friends, CISF is still not there. No, it's not there. I've got photographs of today morning. I have photographs.
Just take instructions. That's
Lord,
CIS has
I
arrived at this
received an
point.
intimation in writing that they have gone, they have visited in along with the Kolkata police and to decide where to post whom. Lord, one thing is to be decided. Kolkata police says that the security should be in the hospital, but we feel that it should be more in the hostel because they
Mr. Subal,
Yeah, no problem, Mullah.
we might be just late by 10 minutes or so.
No problem.
At
No.
15, so you all of you
Deeply
also know you
obliged.
have.
Deeply obliged.
Grateful, Lord.
So, solicitor, we'll come back at you.
right.
Original case diary, Mullah, sir.
Check, check. Check, check. Check. Mic check.
क्या कर रहे हो आप? क्या दिया तुमने?
This All India Judges matter, my lords have directed today the appearance of the chief secretaries on 27th. My lord, I appear for the state of Tamil Nadu. State of Tamil Nadu has issued GO, has made budgetary allocation, and in compliance affidavit has requested for 6 weeks time to actually disburse in the account. The chief secretary has recently joined on 19th of this month as chief secretary. Lord, permit us to appear online, my lord,
But you have issued a GO. Has disbursement been completed?
within 6 weeks, the compliance affidavit says 2 allowances have been disbursed. There were 21 allowances which budgetary allocations have also been made.
What is the position here in Tamil Nadu?
This connection, this was stated that in terms of the directions of this honorable court, so and so, have been revised by the state government and arrears have to be paid. Therefore, it is respectfully submitted that to calculate the arrears due to revision and allowances and sanction of new allowances and credit in their account, 2 more times is asked, 2 more months they have asked for time.
I spoke 6 weeks. We will.
More months is what they
6
asked.
weeks is what Lord, I am told by Chief Secretary that 6 weeks we will completely, because the claims, certain claims have to be made by the officers, not by us. Ultimately,
You complete the exercise in 4 weeks. At the most, we might give you 4 weeks, right? Come here, we'll hear all the chief secretaries, who are here. We don't want to now start making an exception. In the morning, we have not made any exception. Yes.
so online, my lord.
No, not online. They are supposed to remain present here. That's our order. Why are you shy?
No, my lord, I am not shy.
Whatever statement they want to make, let them appear here before us and they'll make a statement.
My lord, we find the
Sorry,
the
in
Chief
the
Secretary.
morning, a similar request was made.
We have not allowed that to
Honorable
anybody.
Chief Justice has declined. So no exception for you. Ask them to remain present.
Item 7 is the original matter of the twins where Kara was to respond. Adoptions have already taken place and Kara was to give the NOC blood. So 16th, your lordship heard it for 26th. Kara has not responded.
It's on board today. If it doesn't reach today, because of this, we'll take it up early
I'll
next
wait
week.
for my turn.
Otherwise, we'll take it early next week if you want.
No, my lord, I'll
We
wait.
can take it up on Tuesday. We
Lord,
can,
Whatever your lordship.
we'll take it up on Wednesday. We can take it up.
This is the
The aunt has adopted both the children.
The position is that I will explore the options under the UK adoption system. They say you get a non-convention adoption order. Kara has to give a non-convention adoption order. And
Okay, that's fair enough, but we'll take it up on Wednesday,
Alright.
so that Tuesdays. Oh yeah, we have a CBI on Wednesday, so Tuesday we'll take it up.
Tuesday.
Well, may I make a small,
The list is possible. I'm so sorry.
no, it's okay.
I'm very sorry. I'm very sorry.
Yes.
May I make a small request, Melody? Would my lords allow us to airdrop the material?
All right.
Well, yes, a soft copy, airdrop, soft copy of this. It's much clearer, Melody, than that. That's all. Please airdrop it. And in the meantime, just, Melody, so that some misgivings, Melody, may be cleared.
Their official records, was possible to be shared, please share it.
No, it's a status report, no? This you can share.
Relations.
Yeah, Malad, I just wanted to mention to your lordships, through a notification issued in the Gazette in 2018, Malad, by an order of the Commissioner of Police, we are required to follow these guidelines, which are set out, unnatural deaths and injuries. And we have followed these guidelines to the T. So it's not something that we have departed, Malad, from the standard procedure. It's the regulation of 68, Malad. Immediately on receipt of information of a death occurring in any of the circumstances, first information report shall be drawn up in West Bengal form such and such. The information shall be recorded in the same manner as a first information of a cognizable crime. That's how the unnatural death is registered. And it shall be put up for subdivisional who shall record his orders. And then it goes on, Mullah. So we follow this to the T.
Except that this doesn't justify registration of your FIR at 11:30 at night.
But everything started earlier. All the investigation was done.
Body was recovered in soon after 9:30.
But Malad, all the investigation was done in accordance with law, Malad. There's no as far as delay in the investigation. The procedure is the same, Malad. We have not, Malad.
Procedure and other things is a separate issue, but the point really
I
does
understand.
remain that what is the reason? I mean, now we've already highlighted that. We needn't go over it all over again. What is the reason why the the FIR is lodged almost 14 hours after the discovery of.
Because we asked the parents, he says, we'll give a formal complaint. Well, that's all on the record.
Second, further investigation is also required.
One counsel is here.
Please, if you don't mind.
Parents counsel.
Sir,
He
if
is
you don't-
waving his hands.
1 second, if you don't
He
mind.
is waving his hands.
Second, most important, what is
No,
the
it's
role of
not
the
an issue
principal?
that the parents
What
would have
is-
requested
what
them
is
to
role of the
delay the
principal?
FIR.
Why he was the principal of the college, he should have come straight away to the college
Yeah,
and directed the filing of the FIR. Who was he in touch with? What were his connections
That's
with
for him,
that?
Malas, to
That's-
decide why he didn't do it. Malas, I'm just telling your lordship that as far as we are concerned, we follow this procedure, be that as it may, Malas. Now,
At the moment he tenders a resignation, he is appointed as a principal of another college.
we'll respond to that separately, Malas.
What is the purpose? I mean,
Yes,
there
yes,
is a purpose.
I appreciate that part of it, Malas.
A lot of.
We
lot of
appreciate
things
that part of
be
it.
still investigated by the.
Yeah.
by the
Now, of
CBI.
course, Malas, each of us, Malas, who are appearing for the state have now got Swiss bank accounts which are doing the rounds, Malas, because we are appearing for the state. That's all that's happening now, Malas, outside. And we are, instead of,
Initially, that switchback account came, my lord, from your client, present client.
Anyway, we don't have to really go into all this. We have to.
let's not,
What we will
again,
do is
you know,
this.
instead
Mr.
of
Sibal,
concentrating on the investigation, you're concentrating on the state
what
of
we
West
will do is
Bengal.
this. CBI submitted its status report to us of the investigation. You have also submitted a status report of the investigation. We will have a look at your, report. We'll take it on the record. Let the investigation continue. There are two different things. CBI in respect of the actual death, and insofar as you are concerned, the vandalization which takes place the day after. So,
And the future protest, Malas, your lordships have to protect us for that. That future protest.
Protest?
how can
Protecting the
how
state?
can we protect the
No,
state?
your lordships, Malas, SO, the standard operating procedure must follow. We will designate area, they can hold the protest, they can go there.
So why do we have to do all that? Your district magistrate.
Yeah, your lordships will only say, Malas, because your lordships have said no peaceful protests should be interfered with, Malas. Now, if they don't follow the standard operating procedure, don't tell us what the leader is. Malas, what will happen is what your lordships have seen.
We have not for a moment said that the requisite provisions of law should not be complied.
That's fine. That should be clarified, that's all.
The only thing is that what we meant was that stop arresting people who are.
Yes, absolutely. Your lordship may just clarify that.
My lord, an additional small clarification.
We have never said that irrespective of the normal procedures for conducting
That's what is
protests.
being done, Malas. That's why I saw those audio clips, Malas.
Right now, we will just say this, a status report has been submitted by the Central Bureau of Investigation. Likewise, a status report has been submitted on behalf of the police of the state of, the investigation.
Kolkata police.
By the?
Kolkata police.
By the Kolkata police, on behalf of the Kolkata police. Full stop. As already noted earlier, the investigation into the circumstances relating to the death of the postgraduate student at RG Kaur Medical College and Hospital is being conducted by the CBI. Full stop. The Kolkata police is looking into the investigation following the vandalization of the hospital after the protests of the after the protests at the site.
No, it was vandalism, my lord, not protest.
After the protests at the site.
Yes, vandalism after the protest.
Yes.
Full stop. Next. From the material which has been produced before the court, it appears that a request for conducting the polygraph test has been submitted. Test of the accused has been submitted to the ACJM Sialda, which is stated to be under process. Full stop. The ACJM Sialda shall pass orders on the application no later than by 5 p.m. on 23 August 2024. Full stop. During the course of the hearing, a number of counsel have appeared on behalf of diverse stakeholders, including the associations representing the resident doctors. Full stop.
And other doctors, my lord.
Resident doctors and other doctors. Full stop. The Yeah, among others, among others. Full stop. The council who have intervened in these proceedings, together with the parties for whom they have intervened, are set out below. Colon, ये पूरा statement ले लीजिए. In the previous order of this court, while constituting a national task force, this court had specifically clarified that the NTF should engage with diverse stakeholders. Full stop. Consequently, we hope and trust that the NTF shall hear the representatives of diverse stakeholders, so as to enable it to have inputs from all those who are likely to be affected by the process which has been initiated by this court, and who have a vital stake in maintaining safety and well-being of the doctors and other medical professionals in their workplaces.
One second, I have to say something.
In their workplaces.
I give it.
We have not said no. We have not said, we have said all stakeholders. During the course, during the course of the hearing, Learned Council have placed some additional suggestions which may be taken into account by the committee, including bracket 1, the installation of distress call systems, the institutionalization of distress call systems, semicolon, bracket 2, regulation of duty hours, comma, and 3, the lodgement of the constitution of a compensation distress fund. Next, the above suggestions would, it is needless to note, be considered by the National Task Force, whose remit has been couched in broad terms by this court. But stop. It is undoubted that the views of diverse stakeholders would be taken into account by the task force before its final recommendations are made. Full stop. To facilitate the filing of suggestions before the National Task Force, we direct the Secretary in the Ministry of Health and Family Welfare of the Union Government to open a specific portal on the website of the ministry, on which associations, or as the case may be, different stakeholders can submit their suggestions for consideration before the committee. Full stop. Mr. Kapil Sibal, Learned Counsel appearing on behalf of the State of West Bengal and the Kolkata Police, submits that this court may clarify, submits that while this court has permitted peaceful protests, the order should not be misconstrued to mean that the authorities are precluded from exercising the regulatory powers in accordance with law. This court has not injuncted the state from exercising such lawful powers as are entrusted in terms of the law. However, we categorically reaffirm that peaceful protests shall not be disturbed, nor shall peaceful protests shall not be disturbed or disrupted, and the state shall not take any action against those who are protesting against who are peacefully protesting.
That's correct.
Against the incident which took place at Rajikor Medical College.
Maybe just one more line.
Hold on. Allow me. Whether your lordships may take my affidavit on record. Take on record. And Malas, two things. We have filed the status report, but the pen drive is not being taken, which has the videos. Malas, that pen drive may be taken on record.
My lords, with regard.
Yeah, in extras.
One second. Should we keep it after a week for the next status report to be filed before us? Because we just like to.
That's fine, Malas. But the pen drive may be taken because they are the annexures, Malas. Yes, deeply obliged.
My lords,
Just
with
give it
regard.
with the pen drive.
Karuna, this is.
Malas, and also, let me finish.
We'll finish the.
Where?
Well, let me just finish this. Well, my timeline was on the events.
My lord, only one request I have to make.
1 second, hold on, please. Let me make my.
Yeah, of course.
Well, the timelines. Court master, just take that.
My lord,
One
the
second.
request
So
is
the
this.
timeline.
My lord, request is this, my lord.
In view of the fact that this court has taken measures to ensure the institutionalization of the concerns of the medical professions in terms of the previous order dated so and so, it is only to be expected that the doctors would now return to work. Full stop. Pending the submission of the report to the National Tax Task Force, all state governments and union territories shall ensure that wherever the need arises in terms of the exigencies of work, the state shall be alert to any apprehended violations of a breach of apprehension violations or breach of safety in medical establishments within that.
My lords, doctors are with the court on that. My lords, backlash we can be protected against.
Timeline of events as they happen. Well,
My lord, can the timeline at least be shared with us?
We'll give you
Give a copy to the.
Yes.
But this can never be secret, my lord.
What? Nothing.
Of
course not. Nothing.
Also give the or your status report.
Yeah.
Well, that can be shared with the CBI.
Of course, it can be. Investigation
Investigation is pending, Malal. How can the status report be shared? That cannot.
But one aspect may be considered.
Yes, his status report is not shared.
The CISF has been deployed at.
Yes, my lord. Yes, my lord.
एक और वो भी लिख लीजिए. The Solicitor General states that in compliance with the orders of this court, the CISF has been deployed at RG Kar Medical College and Hospital so as to ensure the safety of
Just one small submission.
all other medical professionals.
My lords had said in the morning an additional line, my lords, with regard to protecting our doctors from backlash. They will, of course, rejoin. But my lords, and they have never suspended emergency services. But my lords, there is a concern, already a backlash.
Ms. Nandi, there's no question of only doing emergency services. In a place like, say, All India Institute of Medical Sciences, people take appointments 2 years in advance. If doctors are not available on duty for a day, that means that person loses a slot which was booked 2 years in advance.
Absolutely, my lords. And during lunch, we spoke to our doctors, and this is what has been said, and this is what has absolutely been agreed to. My lords, just the backlash, though, there is the health department and the medical council, we are being told that the action is being taken against our doctors. These are under control of the West Bengal government who are protesting, the protesting doctors. In addition, private and public harassment is happening from the police.
Next week.
Yes, my lords.
Once the doctors get back to work, please come back to us and tell us.
Lordships, may I just point out?
Come back, my lords.
Lordship,
Lordships, there is an order.
Record this in the order.
An apprehension has been expressed on behalf of the doctors, stating that that they are likely to be, or some of them are already being proceeded against.
Not to interrupt, in Delhi, there is FIR registered against us.
Right, for the protests which took place in the past. Full stop. We are expecting compliance with the assurance which is now given to the court that the doctors would join normal duties. Full stop. In the meantime, if any adverse action has been taken against any protesting doctor for protests which have been carried out prior to the date of this order, no coercive steps shall be taken on the basis of any action.
There is an order of a college in Ujjain where my learned
But
friend
nothing hereafter, because now after this order, everybody must
Yes,
doctors have been told
For contempt.
not even to go on a token strike. My learned friend wants.
I just received a.
I'll tell you one thing, get back to work now. if any doctor is proceeded against for a protest which took place in the past, we have already said no coercive action will be taken.
This is for the future, actually. We are saying that
Right.
you cannot go for the token
But
protest as well.
no, but future now you must come back to duty.
No, the problem is
Can
that
we
if we,
say,
if
can we say as judges that we'll stand outside the Supreme Court? No,
Yes,
because
we seek permission from the
justice and medicine can't go on strike.
yeah,
Everybody has to come back.
to the proper measure, it should be done.
Lordship,
And
another
protest for the
aspect.
contempt.
Mullah, just
Another aspect.
one second.
Look, first, establish before us next time that everybody has come back to work. Once we are satisfied that everybody has come back to work, please rest assured, we'll make sure that no adverse action is taken. What happened in the past.
Mullah, the other thing is, your lordships have taken now the status report on record and a separate affidavit on record. Now, Mullah, the only thing is, and this is a request from everybody, that Mullah's normalcy should try and be, Mullah, the people should not take advantage of the situation. Normalcy should return, Mullah, and we are
Yes,
investigating
stop
in
vandalism.
their hands now.
Normal.
Responsible is in their hands now, the
If
investigation.
vandalism is stopped,
These
everything will
kind
be
of
normal.
statements.
And therefore, we have requested the doctors to come back to work.
Yes. No statements, Mullah,
Now,
that
the
are being made of the
investigation is
nature.
going on.
Lordship.
The investigation is going on. We are assessing the status reports which are being filed in the course of the investigation. I think now, for the family, there's no question of normalcy because the family is deeply affected.
Correct.
But insofar as the community is concerned, including the community of doctors, we have to return back to our
Absolutely.
duty.
And the statements and the,
Lord, just
the
one
statements
sentence.
made of the
Just one
nature that we have placed before you.
I appear for the
But
Resident
I-
Doctors
Only a
Association
minute,
of.
my lord, let me let this note. My lord. Lord, we are not against, my lord, nobody should make any statement.
That's correct.
We have a statement of a sitting minister of the state of West Bengal
Lord.
saying that, no, not all, that's something very serious. That if anybody talks anything against our leader, his fingers will be chopped off.
Mullah, then I will read the leader of the opposition statement.
Go into it. Nobody should speak.
Bullets will be fired. Bullets will be fired is what he said.
What we would also expect,
Yes.
please don't politicize. these
Exactly,
things.
exactly.
So
My
Bindu has
learned
said
friend
bullets will
started
be
with
fired.
this, my lord,
Across
therefore
the
I
political spectrum,
Yes.
parties have to realize, don't politicize.
That's right.
Exactly, my lord,
Deeply
exactly.
My lord,
It's
The
the
law
simple-
will take its
started by
course.
saying
Yes.
step
The
back.
law will take its course, and we are ensuring that the law does take its course after a quick and efficient
Deeply
investigation.
obliged. Deeply obliged.
Second, we are also concerned about the welfare and safety of doctors for the future. We want to institutionalize this.
That's right.
Yes.
We are not just going to lay down guidelines. We are going to pass an enforceable direction that the recommendations of the task force will be implemented by the state governments by hospitals under the
Deeply
authority of the union government.
My lord,
Lordship, there is
By
a
my
possibility of.
interruption, I prevented a political dialogue by giving this instance.
mine is not, but just 10 seconds. My lord. We are grateful. I appear for the Resident Doctors Association of AIMS Delhi. We are grateful Lordship's taken so much. What has happened is we've taken a peaceful protest. I registered, I get the General Secretary of the association. Now, as it is, emotions are running high. The office bearers are sensible. They're trying their best to convince the large body to get back to work. Now, these kind of FIRs, etc., sets back the process. Just tell them
Why
to hold
don't
their
you
hands,
do this?
Delhi police.
Why don't you do this? Ask the doctors at AIMS Delhi also to get back to work. Insofar as the FIR and other things are concerned, we are seized of it. When we are seized of it, nothing is going to happen.
We registered yesterday, my lord. General Secretary accused
Now
in the
tell us
FIR.
one thing, since when have you been abstaining from duties? Tell us, how long is it back?
From the time the incident, for the last 7 days, 7, 8
So
days.
the incident
Nine.
took place on the 9th.
Yes, my lord.
Right? Today we are now on the 22nd. Imagine 13 days doctors from the All India Institute of Medical Sciences don't go to work.
Absolutely. As an officer of the court, as lawyers, we've been talking to them after your lordship's taken so motor cognizance. We've told them.
Democracy does not mean indiscipline.
I understand, but these FIRs aggravates me.
To work.
Lordship understands the 1,500 doctors, office bearers are sensible. They are trying.
Tell the doctors
Yes.
that once they get back to work, we will put it to the director. The director is a member of our task force.
Yes, my lord.
We put it to the director that all right, and we'll tell the police who are here before us. Nobody wants to pursue the doctors,
Yes, that's
right?
but what happens is
Eventually they have to get back to work. That's it.
let them just hold their hands till lordship is. FIR registered for a peaceful protest, and after the last order, my lord.
But therefore, we have just said that no coercive steps will be taken. That we have already protected the doctors.
Yes,
But only
understand.
now if they don't get back to work,
I understand. I completely will convey the sentiment.
May I just say, your lordships,
One submission, Lordship. One
Mullah,
submission. Lordship.
nobody should say acid bombs will be used, this should be done, bullets will be fired. It's all wrong, Mullah.
well, God knows you have these kind of elements everywhere on all sides of the spectrum.
Exactly.
Now tell us, we don't know who has said that.
We have got the clips.
you have given that to us, but
Yes,
what is the idea?
and the leader of the opposition has done this, my lord. Leader of
I
the
am also
opposition.
getting, my lord, many things.
Quay home, there's a protective order. We can't lodge an FIR.
Responsible way of not placing it before the
Yes.
court.
Therefore,
It
we
is
had
to be
said
ignored,
that when we
not
said
to be
that
highlighted.
peaceful protesters will not be disturbed,
Yeah.
that is equally subject to compliance with the other
Yes,
requirements.
completely.
There was intimation to the district magistrate.
Lordship, may I say one thing, Lordship? Lordship, because of two investigating agencies are investigating, the vandalism is being investigated by the police and other side is investigated by the CBI. Lordship, there is an apprehension that conflict will be there. Lordship, because vandalism.
Don't worry about it. We are here to resolve any
Consider
conflict.
that
What
as
is
the
here on the
concern
next
while assessing, Lordship, because
Media trial also must be banned. Media spreading rumors, it is insulting the victim, my lord. Kindly stop.
We've already passed that order.
It is alleged.
This one. CBI may not.
One more thing, if you stop filing all those publicity interest litigations that I come every day before this court, I think the media trial will stop. Constantly filing some PIL or the other before us. All right, we'll see.
Lordship, may I just finally say that this hearing has provided a healing touch to the doctors who
Yes.
felt they had nobody to vent their grievance with. Your lordships have heard it so patiently, and there's a sense of satisfaction among the doctors that they felt that they now feel that they've finally been heard. So we would just like
Yes,
to thank you.
we thank
My lord, your lordship,
when-
on
when-
behalf
Aparajita, we have also said that today that the doctors will be heard by the committee. So
Yes,
let's
we
I must tell you,
clarify that.
Lord, I must tell you, Lordship, my Lord, when,
change, my lords. We are.
Mr.
One
Mr.
suggestion,
Karun,
your lordship.
my Lord, when the Secretary, my Lord, Secretary Health,
Yes.
Director General of Health Services came, they also shared this concern with that doctors are exposed to patients and patients' relatives, and their temper is also going high because doctors have their own duties, their own compulsions. The patients would expect something. So there is always a friction kind of a situation. So doctors are kind of more vulnerable. But this has really given a healing touch and an assurance coming from the highest court of the country that the highest court of the nation is looking after their interest.
Well,
So
there's
we
somebody,
really
thank you, Mr. Zalzala. Mr. Dr. Rajiv Joshi, I think, is on the line.
It's Dr. Rajiv Joshi from Medical Legal Society of India, sir.
Yes.
I represent a body of doctors which has got 70 lawyers and 120 members, doctors who have done LLB. So this is the association which has worked research for 5 years about the problems of violence against doctors. And you'll be surprised to know that you have mentioned there are 7 acts of 7 states. Actually, there are 21 states have different acts for violence against doctors.
Yes.
So that is first part. Second part is, in spite of having these acts, vandalism and the violence against doctors does not decrease because there is no deterrence. You can understand my statement that out of 1,381 accused people in Maharashtra from 2015 to 2020, only 4 have been convicted and rest have been given go by because of certain laws which help the doctors to help the accused to get away. Now that problem is to be sorted out by the legislation. And what we seek from your honor is the protection of law and not only the protection, physical protection that is being offered by your order, which has been given in detail on the day before yesterday. So what we would like to inform you is that Minister of Health and Family Welfare had drafted a legislation at 2019, and that was rejected by Home Department that this legislation cannot be done because of certain reasons, whatever may the reasons be. After that, when there was epidemic, rather pandemic, the Home Minister assured IMA that they will form a central legislation. But only thing that they did was they amended the Epidemic Diseases Act, and it is now as the epidemic has gone by, the act has the truth of the act has gone by. So what I want to tell you is, out of these, I have filed a public interest litigation in Bombay High Court, and in 2020 we filed a public interest litigation. And as you formed a committee of various doctors, the Bombay High Court Chief Justice formed a committee of people from Maharashtra state, and the committee had 3 meetings, and the meetings have been concluded in a statement which says that the Maharashtra 2010 Act has to be amended. Now, I will read the statement of the Honorable Advocate General of Maharashtra State, which is reproduced in the order of the court, and you will realize what is happening about it. We have further, the court says that we have further been informed in the course of hearing today that the appropriate authority of the government has discussions with the petitioner and a draft of amendments required to be incorporated in the Maharashtra Medicare Services Act has been prepared. However, Mr. Kumbhakoni submits that he has himself pursued the draft and found that the same to be clumsy. He therefore submits that the government ought to be given liberty to considering whether to introduce a new legislation or to amend the act, for which he has time. This order of the court is dated 13th of July 2021, Your Honor. More than 3 years and 1 month has passed after this order. The Maharashtra state government has not done anything about the report of the committee. Therefore, it is necessary to ensure that the recommendations that your National Task Force will give will have to be implemented on the ground. The other statement which I would like to make is we had filed intervention application in Kerala Private Hospital Association versus State of Kerala. And in this case, on the court, Kerala High Court,
Your Dr. Joshi, your PIL is pending before the Bombay High Court, but we are not leaving it at that. Once the report is submitted by the task force, as you rightly said, the next step would be the implementation of the recommendation.
yeah. Now, please hear me out for 2 more minutes, Your Honor.
You can assist us at that stage on what steps should be taken to implement the report of the task force. We require
that is one part. Second part, I will give you
what's happening in Maharashtra, Kerala, because that's not really going to carry this matter any further.
Please give me 2 more minutes. We filed the application Kerala High Court, and the Kerala High Court passed an order of golden hour of filing FIR. Your Honor, please give me 1 more minute. The Kerala High Court passed an order of 1 golden hour for filing FIR, which is similar to golden hour doctors use to treat patients of stroke or cardiac arrest, so that the patient doesn't die or come with permanent disability. Now, this FIR was to be filed within 1 hour, and I have filed 5 instances of this order being disrespected by the police. And the Kerala High Court has taken cognizance of our applications, and they have asked the commissioners of police to file affidavits or superintendent of police to file affidavits, after which the violence in Kerala has come down by 75 to 80%. Subsequently, we'll be aware of the brutal murder of Dr. Vandana Das, who was stabbed 11 times in chest in early morning. And on that day, the High Court of Kerala asked the government what we are going to do about the act. And within 7 days,
you can assist us after the report comes in. These are important issues on implementation, which we'll look at later on. Let the report first come, and we'll then see. We'll require your assistance, and we'll be happy to have your assistance on what steps should be taken to including your suggestion on the golden hour for
Your Honor, Advocate Sneha Kalita has got copy of my submission. Kindly permit her to submit that document with her.
Request, but thereafter there are 2 holidays. 30th is Friday, 31st is Saturday, and Monday is 2nd. Second on 3rd, my lord. Subject to
Your Lordship, there's only one.
Your Lordship, kindly take the note.
Yes, you can give us a note, Dr. Joshi.
Your Lordship, there's only one suggestion, Your
A
Lordship.
special bench on the 3rd. Can you have it earlier, please? There's a special bench on the 3rd. Or later, either earlier or later.
Mr. Sybil, come on the 3rd. We can adjust the time between both of you. There's no difficulty.
No, but there's a special bench that is listed, matters are listed for 3 days.
Because then 4th, I don't know how we will be paid.
No, but 5th, my lord, can it be 5th?
We'll take it.
5th is all right.
5th,
all right. But that original case diary be returned to us.
Another request, my lord.
Photocopy of the original.
Lord, another, my lord, the status report may be sealed again, my lord, and retain in your lordship.
Status report to be
Same for us.
CBI state.
And same for, yes, obviously.
That's right.
Your Lordship, there is one suggestion, last suggestion.
Same for us. They've seen it.
Mandatory filing of institutional FIR by the institution within 2 hours of the cognizance of the office. Your Lordship.
For the last 6
Yes, Your
minutes, you
Lordship.
were
3
making that
minutes.
point.
Yes, Your Lordship. That's
We'll issue directions even on
Your
that.
Honor,
deeply obliged. Your
My lords, there's one submission which is important at this stage, my lords, which was, I'll just take 20 seconds. My lords, I'm appearing for the National Federation of Resident Doctors of AIIMS and the Federation of All India Medical Association. My lords, they have got letters from different resident doctor associations have written letters to them that we are ready to join. However, if some degree of interim protection, some basic degree of interim protection by the time the recommendation of the NTF has been implemented, which includes only the CCTV footage at the entrance and the exit of the hospitals and the hostels, and also a distress call facility. They are requesting for this interim protection, my lords, because they are petrified after this horrific incident which has happened. And
Well, the government has already implemented this. West Bengal has already implemented this.
On behalf.
2 days back, we've implemented it as far as West Bengal is concerned.
Panic button.
In fact, I haven't.
Mr. Solicitor, what we'll do is this, apropos the submission which has come, can you ask the ministry to engage with the state health departments in the next week before we take up the matter? And we'll issue some directions on what in the meantime, what are the steps which the state governments can take in the meantime pending the report of the...
What I would suggest, apropos what is in furtherance, the health secretary can have a meeting with the chief secretary and the director general of police instead of health secretary of the state, and convey that you take care of this apprehension. This apprehension appears to be justifiable apprehension, because law and order would be a state subject. We can only accelerate or we can assist.
During the course of the hearing, counsel representing several resident doctors associations have indicated to the court that the doctors are willing to go back to work without any condition. However, it has been submitted that, don't say without any condition, are willing to go back to work and their duties. However, it has been submitted that the state governments may take a considered view on putting into place at least some safety measures to assuage the concerns of the doctors. Full stop. In order to enable this exercise, full stop, we consider the submission to be, the suggestion to be fair. Full stop. In order to facilitate this, we direct that the Secretary and the Ministry of Health and Family Welfare of the Union Government shall engage with the Chief Secretaries and the Directors General of Police so as to find, so as to evolve, so as to ensure that the state governments, stroke UTs, put into place certain basic minimum requirements pending the receipt of the report of the task force to assuage the concerns of the doctors over their safety at the workplace.
Lord, if I'm presenting my
With your lordship permission.
The exercise of holding the meeting should be completed within a period of 1 week so that the state governments may take remedial action, remedial and appropriate action, given the exigencies of the situation within a period of 2 weeks thereafter.
In fact, we have made that order on 9.
With your lordship permission.
Followed, we'll share it with them. We made that order to protect.
With your lordship permission, I just would like to add that in some of the hospitals and in private hospitals too, there is not adequate security staff. And even the security staff
will have to employ.
Your lordship, may just submit one thing.
I'll tell you one thing.
Please.
When you talk of private hospitals, if you go to a place
No, your lordship, I'm just.
from nursing homes,
No, your lordship.
large hospitals, you have them across the spectrum.
Your lordship, I'm
We
just.
start telling the government to provide
Your lordship,
security
I'm
at
just-
every nursing home.
An amount of money they charge.
Your lordship,
should employ others.
Your lordship, even
Ordinary citizens will have no security.
employ your lordship, they are not having.
And public hospitals stand on a different.
Your lordship, I just submit one thing.
Large footfalls, the large number of doctors,
No.
sprawling workspaces.
Your lordship, my submission is not that.
Some help,
Your lordship,
reduce the
and
severity for
I'm
some
just
important
your lordship,
it may.
that in some of the hospital, your lordship, there is not adequate security, and security staff which they deploy, they don't make proper verification. They just employ anybody and then.
Ma'am,
that
it will be
is-
very difficult for
aspect-
this
this
court to
aspect-
monitor such at a minute level.
Therefore, we have a body of expert doctors who will tell us what to do, A, about the public hospitals, about the smaller hospitals.
That's correct.
Please.
Now, obviously, the burden can't be shared for both equally by the state. The state has an obligation insofar as public hospitals are concerned. Insofar as private hospitals are concerned, some alternate mechanisms can be put into place. That's why we had a suggestion of distress call mechanisms, so that you have an immediate access to a lawful authority should there be any problem or which is apprehended. So these are particularly things, therefore, the committee which we have appointed consists of doctors drawn from private hospitals and from the public sector. The idea is therefore to allow them to evolve something which is practicable. Us merely issuing a general direction will not make any, I mean, you have to have resources, you have to have
Task
manpower.
force may
So
can
let's
give
therefore wait
that-
for the report of the task force and then we can see how to best implement it. But we are not going to merely lay it down with, be content with guidelines. We are then thereafter going to take up the report and then issue certain directions on that basis.
My lords, with regard to the SIT notification that I had handed over, we will place documents on record demonstrating which we have obtained through RTIs and then seek directions on the 5th. Grateful. Grateful.
Grateful to your lordship.
In this episode, we talk about a major breakthrough that will solve the problem of weeds in rice and wheat crops. We also talk about Vinesh Fogart creating history at the Paris Olympics. But first, we talk about a promise made by the BJP in their 2024 Lok Sabha elections manifesto. Hi, I am Niharika Nanda, and you are listening to Three Things, the Indian Express news show. The BJP, as a part of their manifesto during the Lok Sabha elections, said that the Ayushman Bharat scheme, which started in 2018, will cover all the senior citizens above the age of 70.
आज जो बुजुर्ग हैं, उनकी बहुत बड़ी चिंता होती है कि बीमारी की स्थिति में इलाज का खर्च कैसे आएगी, और ये मध्यम वर्ग परिवार को ज्यादा होती है। अब भाजपा ने संकल्प लिया है कि 70 वर्ष की आयु से ऊपर के हर बुजुर्ग को आयुष्मान योजना के दायरे में लाया जाएगा। 70 साल के ऊपर के हर बुजुर्ग, चाहे वो गरीब हो, चाहे मध्यम वर्ग के हो, चाहे उच्च मध्यम वर्ग के हो, ये एक नया दायरा होगा जिनको 5 लाख रुपए तक के मुफ्त इलाज की सुविधा मिलेगी।
To learn more about the scheme, the significance of this promise, and how it will impact the expenditure made on the scheme, we have Indian Express's Anona Dutt joining us. Anona, for our listeners, can you begin by talking a little bit about the Ayushman Bharat scheme?
So, Ayushman Bharat is a health insurance scheme by the government, which is essentially meant for the 40% of the poorest people in the country. Of course, there are others who have now been added to the scheme, such as ASHA workers and Anganwadi workers, transgender people. But mainly it is to give sort of health coverage to the really poor people who otherwise would not be able to afford a lot of tertiary care hospitalizations.
And what is the qualification criteria for receiving the benefits of this scheme?
So right now, as I said, the poorest 40%. So only the 70-year-olds who are in this section have Ayushman Bharat coverage. The rest, there has been an announcement by the BJP in their manifesto and even by the President of India that the government will try to bring in all 70-year-olds under the coverage, but that hasn't happened yet. When it comes to the Ayushman Bharat scheme itself, the main data point is the SECC database. which is the socio-economic and caste census, which was done last in 2011. So this has been the basis for inclusion into the scheme. But now the state governments have also been given the freedom of adding people based on any other, state database that they might have, depending on who they consider to be the most marginalized and poor.
And Anona, what kind of an expenditure is made on the scheme according to the data from the last 6 years?
So right now we have just looked at the data from the last 6 years. So the scheme started in September 2018. And since then, the data till January this year suggests that over 79,000 crores have been spent on people's hospitalization and treatments.
And Anona, why is this promise so significant? Why is it important for the scheme to cover the senior citizens above the age of 70?
So this poll promise or announcement by the government is very significant because our population is aging and we are also living longer. So there is a significant proportion of people living with chronic diseases. Secondly, it is extremely difficult for the elderly to get covered under insurance policies. The premiums are extremely high and the payouts are not very significant. They do not, get cover for certain diseases, etc. Or, these policies have a cap for how much you can spend on a certain disease or in one admission. So all of these things have, kept the elderly out of the insurance net. And while there are certain schemes like, say, CGHS or ECHS, which do cover people over the age of 70, and even Ayushman Bharat covers those above the age of 70 who are among the poorest. But even for the general, middle class people, this is needed because right now the health protection is not very good for the elderly.
And now that the government wants to include each and every person above the age of 70 years within the ambit of this scheme, so what kind of an increase is expected in the expenditure regarding the same?
So what experts say is that the exchequer would end up spending a significant amount, mainly due to two reasons. One is that once we bring in 70-year-olds above, right now we are considering only the poorest people. But when people of means get included in the scheme, they are much more likely to utilize it and utilize it in, say, private sector hospitals that are enrolled under the scheme. So all of this is likely to bring up the cost that the government might have to pay out. Secondly, when you have more number of older people in a scheme, the premium that the government would have to pay is likely to increase as well because older people are more prone to having complications of their chronic diseases or get infections or have falls, which could result in, bone breaks and stuff, which would again need hospitalization. So hospitalization in general is likely to be higher among the older people. And secondly, people of means are likely to utilize their policy more. This is why experts say that, expanding the scheme would likely increase cost to the exchequer.
And Anona, what were some of the major trends that emerged as far as the data that was submitted in the parliament regarding the scheme was concerned?
So first of all, I will speak a little bit about the data. Indian Express went through the data submitted in the parliament on the amount the number of hospitalizations that have been approved and the amount that has been spent on them for 70-year-olds, and then compared it to what we know has been the total number of admissions and total cost of the scheme with the general population. Of course, the 40% that has been included in the scheme as of now. And what we saw is that first of all, one big trend that emerged was that 12% of all hospitalizations were among the 70-year-olds. Now, why is this significant? It's because the estimates suggest that in the general given population, those above the age of 70 constitute about 10% of the population. So that means the elderly people getting admitted to hospitals more than the general population. That is one finding. The second finding is that 14% of the cost that has been borne by the government so far in total was for the treatment of 70-year-olds and above. which means not only are more elderly people getting hospitalized, they are also spending more on these hospitalizations. So these were the two main findings.
Right. And according to the state-wise report, which are the states with the maximum and the minimum proportions of hospital admissions?
So when we look at the absolute numbers, then states like Kerala, Karnataka, Andhra Pradesh, Gujarat and Tamil Nadu, they figure on top. They have the highest number of admissions in 70-year-olds. But barring Kerala, the proportion of total admissions is not amongst the highest in these states, which means the entire population is sort of utilizing the scheme, and there is a high utilization of these schemes in these southern states. But when we are looking at the proportion of admissions, then we see that states like, Maharashtra, Haryana, Bihar, these have seen higher utilization among the elderly as compared to general population. So take, for example, Maharashtra, 20% of their, hospitalizations have been in 70 years and above. Haryana, it's 18.13%. So in terms of proportion, these are the states which have seen, higher utilization among the elderly.
So Anona, what is the way forward?
So BJP actually made a promise of, providing cover to every 70-year-old and above in the country, irrespective of their income status or their economic situation, in their manifesto ahead of the Lok Sabha polls. And it was given further strength by the mention in the president's address this year in the parliament. So the president also said that this would happen. However, as of now, no budget allocation has been made or work, it hasn't started on this. This year, actually, the full budget, which just happened, saw the increase of allocation for Ayushman Bharat by just 100 crores. So the allocation right now is about 7,300 crores.
And next we talk about a major breakthrough in wheat and rice farming. Cultivating rice without flooding the field, not burning the leftover stubble after harvesting, and growing wheat without any ploughing or land preparation has been a dream for agricultural scientists, mostly because these activities are ecologically not very sustainable. But they have become a regular practice because they are necessary for removing weeds from the crops. However, recently a solution has been found for this problem. To learn about this breakthrough and how it has the potential to put all these activities like flooding a paddy field and repeated ploughing of a wheat field to an end, we have Indian Express's Harish Damodaran joining us. Harish, can you begin by telling us how major a problem weeds pose when it comes to rice and wheat growth?
See, weeds are the number one enemy of plants. Basically, they compete with the plants for nutrients, for fertilizer, for sunlight, for water. So all farmers like their fields to be free of weed so that only the plants can grow. And rice particularly, it faces this problem, a lot of this problem, in its early stages of growth. So in the early stages, when the rice plant grows, there are a lot of weeds which will emerge. So therefore, farmers need a solution. The traditional solution they had was basically flood the fields, because rice has what they call as parenchyma tissues, which can breathe underwater. Weeds cannot breathe. So I basically drown the weed seeds, So I ensure that those weed seeds, they don't germinate. Or the seedlings that have emerged, it'll get killed by basically flooding the water. So that is the reason why when we see rice fields, it requires a lot of water. And the role of water is precisely to kill the weeds. Same thing, why do we plough the wheat fields so much? Ploughing again is meant basically to kill the weeds. So this is precisely the thing. So when we come to rice, typically, farmers water their fields give irrigation about something like 30 irrigations during their lifetime, And in the initial, say about 2 to 3 weeks, I have to ensure that about 4 to 5 centimeter depth constant has to be maintained, So the field has to be flooded. So if you look at, say, 30 irrigations, and each irrigation consuming something like 2 lakh liters, that is about 60 lakh liters in 1 acre. And 1 acre will produce about, say, something like 2000 kgs of rice. So which means to produce 1 liter of rice, you need something like 3,000 liters of water. That is the kind of water use which rice requires. And why are we using so much of water in the case of rice? Only to manage weeds.
Along with flooding the fields, what extra steps are the farmers currently indulging in order to keep the weeds at bay?
Right now, the process is the farmers first prepare a nursery. Okay, I first sow a paddy nursery. Say, if it is 1 acre, say maybe 1/10 of an acre, I'll take a nursery. And after about 25-30 days, I uproot that plant and then I transplant it in the main field. And where I then, flood the field with water. That is the normal thing. So suppose you have a situation, instead of preparing nurseries, puddling the field and then transplanting and flooding, if I can directly sow rice, just like in the case of wheat or many other this thing, that has been a dream of the scientists, what they call as direct seeding of rice. Similarly, in the case of wheat, they say, no-till, zero-till wheat. And that is one way of making this entire rice-wheat farming environmentally more sustainable.
So have any solutions been found for this problem yet?
So what the technology talks about is you replace water and repeated ploughings. Water and ploughings basically do the job of weed removal. So you replace those with actual herbicides, that is chemical herbicides, which can do the job of killing the weeds. But that's easier said than done. Because if I spray a herbicide, in this case, the herbicide which they found is called imazethapyr. So if I spray this weedicide on an ordinary wheat or an ordinary paddy plant, the herbicide will not distinguish between the plant and the weeds. It will kill the plants along with the weeds. It's a very effective herbicide, but it will kill the plants also. It doesn't know whether this is a rice plant or this is a weed.
So Harish, tell us a bit about this recent breakthrough by way of which the crops won't be impacted by these chemicals and herbicides.
So what scientists have tried to do is to breed varieties of rice and wheat that can tolerate the application of this imazethapyr herbicide so that it will kill only the weeds and it won't kill the rice and the wheat plant. And that's what this latest technology breakthrough is. And I think the technology may be about 5-6 years old, but in India, we are probably trying it for the first time. So this particular herbicide, it is a broad spectrum herbicide. It is effective against a very wide range of weeds, So to that extent, it can replace water and it can also replace, repeated ploughings.
And Harish, how are these new herbicide-tolerant seeds reaching the farmers?
Here there are two companies. One company is called RiceTech. RiceTech is based in the US and they have an Indian subsidiary which is called Savannah and they work only on rice. So they have developed a cropping solution which is based on the use of imazethapyr herbicide. Then you have another company which is Mahiko, which used to be called the Maharashtra Hybrid Seeds Company. They were the ones who brought in BT cotton, your genetically modified cotton. They tied up with Monsanto. So in this case, Mahiko and RiceTech have joined together. They said, hey, I have expertise in wheat, you have expertise in rice. Let's come together and let's work together. Because the farmer who is growing wheat is also growing paddy. So let's come together. And both of us have developed technology which enables the application of this imazethapyr herbicide. And that's what the main thing is. Now they are working towards the farmers. They have tested it in the fields. And I think this year itself, something like 15,000 acres have already been covered under imazethapyr resistant rice.
And can you talk a bit about the benefits of these new herbicide-tolerant crops?
One of the attractions is, I can harvest paddy and then immediately I can plant wheat. So for all of us living in Delhi, etc., this should be of interest to us. Because right now what is happening, the farmer is just burning the stubble, right? After harvesting the paddy, you have the paddy stubble which is remaining. And then he burns the entire stubble, right? Along with the straw, everything, right? And he does why? Because he needs to sow wheat. And he needs a clean field for sowing wheat. So there's no time. So here, these companies are saying, hey, don't worry. You harvest your paddy, but there's no need to burn the stubble. You can cut the stubble using a super seeder and you can mix it with the soil, incorporate in the soil. And then you just spray imazethapyr herbicide and that will kill all the weeds, So there'll be no paddy stubble burning. We save water, right? Because no need to puddle the fields, flood the fields and all these things, right? And transplanting, there's a lot of labor required. In Punjab and all, they get laborers from Bihar, UP, etc. They come and And I think an average farmer spends, 4,000, 5,000 rupees per acre, on transplanting. And you don't get labor. So here you save labor cost. You save a lot of fuel, right? Because you don't need to plow your fields repeatedly. You are saving water. So I think that this is quite a game-changing technology.
And there is always this question that whether a new type of seed or crop that has come up is genetically modified or not. So Harish, for our listeners, can you explain what is genetic modification?
I think as consumers, we would be concerned, because I think generally there is a suspicion against genetically modified crops, right? Like, for example, your genetically modified mustard wasn't cleared commercially, right? And you had BT brinjal, which was not approved. For some reason, right or wrong, we have a problem with genetically modified foods. And when we say genetic modification, it means, say a rice plant which will contain a gene which is from, say, a bacteria. So basically, when we say genetically modified, it means transgenic. That is, you are crossing species and even genus, right? I'm transferring a gene from a bacteria to rice or to cotton or to mustard, right? And so there is a problem there, right? I mean, which the consumer acceptance is limited.
So are these new herbicide-tolerant crops of wheat and rice genetically modified?
But here, in the case of this imazethapyr-tolerant wheat and rice, there is no foreign gene. There is no alien gene. Basically, what you're doing is you are kind of manipulating a gene which already exists. Okay, and that gene is called acetolactate synthase gene. They call it the ALS gene. So the ALS gene is already present in the rice plant. The ALS gene is already present in the wheat plant. And as I said, when you spray normal imazethapyr on rice plants, basically what happens is it sort of binds itself. This chemical will kind of bind itself onto this gene. And this gene is responsible for synthesizing many essential amino acids, which are required for plant growth. The herbicide will then bind itself onto the gene and then it will destroy the plant also. But here what they have done, the genetic modification which they have done is, they have done what is called a mutation. Basically, they have changed the DNA through a mutation. So what happens is, so now this herbicide no longer binds itself on the sites where this gene is there. So therefore, the gene continues its activity. So it's a mutated gene. So it is not a foreign gene. It is a gene which already exists. And what they have done is simple mutation. There is no gene modification or anything of this kind,
And Harish, as you mentioned, the use of these herbicides to get rid of the weeds has already started. But is it safe for the humans since we will be consuming these crops?
This ALS gene is present only in plants and microorganisms. It's not present in humans. It's not present in any mammal. So this particular herbicide, it cannot bind itself onto us. So even this herbicide is perfectly safe as far as humans and mammals are concerned, unlike other herbicides. So I think we should give a chance to this particular technology.
And in the end, we talk about Vinesh Phogat at the Paris Olympics. Yesterday, Vinesh Phogat created history and became the first Indian female wrestler ever to reach the final at the Olympic Games. She now stands on the cusp of a gold medal. She defeated Yusnelis Guzman 5-0 in the semi-final and fought for the gold. Vinesh Phogat's uncle Mahavir Phogat told PTI that he trusts her hard work and she will win a gold medal.
देखिए आपकी बात तो जब ओलंपिक क्वालिफाई किया था उस दिन से मेरे पूरा विश्वास था आपके बाद गोल्ड मेडल लेके आएगी और जो पहली फाइट हुई थी जो जापान गए तो वो भी बहुत बढ़िया लड़की थी आज तक किसी लड़की से वो हारी नहीं ने और वे ने जो उसको हरा करके उसी टाइम जो गोल्ड मेडल का संदेश सारे देश को दे दिया था और मेरी पूरी आस उम्मीद है अब की बार बेटे जो मेरा सपना था जो कई साल से वो पक्का जो पूरा करके जब लौटेगी हिंदुस्तान.
Earlier in the day, she produced a stunning upset that shook the wrestling community when she handed reigning champion Yui Sasaki a tactical defeat in the first round. Vinesh Phogat then backed that up with a hard-fought quarter-final win to enter the semi-finals of the 50 kg category. During her bout with Yui Sasaki, Phogat had begun at a sedate note against her high-profile opponent, who has been considered to be virtually unbeatable in the circuit. Consequently, Vinesh lost a couple of passivity points and trailed 0-2 for majority of her clash before stunning Sasaki. While time was running out, Vinesh clinched the late takedown to deny Sasaki a gold medal with only 20 seconds to spare in a thrilling clash. The 25-year-old Sasaki had won gold in the category at the Tokyo Games without dropping a single point across 4 bouts. As per records, Sasaki has only lost 34 bouts in her entire wrestling career, while winning over 700 of them. Sasaki had also won the World Championship gold in 2017 in the 48 kg category, followed by 2019, 2022 and even 2023. Incidentally, Vinesh is the first international wrestler to trounce Sasaki on the mat. In the quarterfinals, Fogart defeated Ukraine's Oksana Livak 7-5. 27-year-old Livak had clinched the 50 kg bronze medal in the 2018 World Championships. Vinesh had decided to trim down to the 50 kg category for the games this year. And finally, she became the first Indian female wrestler to enter the final of the Olympics. Abhinav Bindra, India's first individual Olympic gold medalist, shared a post on social media site X rooting for her where he said, quote, "A torn ligament, a lower weight category, an unbeaten world champion. Nothing stands in her way. Can't wait to cheer Vinesh Fogart as she goes for gold. Your resilience and strength inspire us all. What an inspiring day. Here's hoping for one more." Unquote. You were listening to 3 Things by the Indian Express. Today's show was edited and mixed by Suresh Pawar and produced by me, Niharika Nanda. If you like the show, then do subscribe to us wherever you get your podcasts. You can also recommend the show to someone you think will like it. Share it with a friend or someone in your family. It's the best way for people to get to know about us. You can also tweet us at Express Audio and write to us at podcasts@indianexpress.com.
$65 to 70 million tons of waste annually, and only half of it gets recycled.
It's not just in our bloodstream. The breastfeeding mothers are feeding plastic through their breast milk.
Very capitalistic viewpoint is make more, sell more. But what do you do about the waste that's generated?
If you don't segregate, tell me what happens.
You mix it, you can't fix it.
From mountains to cities, India's waste problem is becoming bigger. The 62 million tons of waste we produce every year is posing a threat to our health and environment. Watch this episode till the end and learn how we all could clean up this huge problem of waste.
And waste is not waste, it's material. So when you look at it as a commodity, as a material, you suddenly see value for it, right? It's a very clear call for entrepreneurs to move into the space.
The least you could do is be responsible for it.
Hey, Arun and Marwan, welcome to the Better India show. This is a show where we speak with people who are addressing some of India's largest challenges. And in today's episode, we're going to be talking about waste. How large is the waste crisis? How much waste does India produce? What is being done to address our waste? And how can a common citizen really kind of understand what is waste and what is happening to their cities, and how can they contribute in managing waste better, right? So welcome. Thank you so much for taking the time.
Thank you for inviting.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Pleasure.
Great. So before I get into this whole landscape of waste and everything, right, it would be wonderful if you guys could get started by introducing yourself. Arun, you could start first talking about what you do and the organization that you're representing, which is Sahas Zero Waste.
Thank you so much. My name is Arun Murugesh. I'm thoroughbred Bangalore, to be honest, and been in the waste sector for around about 15 years now. So I work for this organization, a for-profit organization called Sahas Zero Waste, which is based out of Bangalore and operates pan-India as well. So we look at holistic waste management solutions, where we look at waste as resources and bring it back into the circular economy. So that's something about the organization. I'm sure we're going to be talking a lot of details about it and about the solutions as well. But me per se, I'm a mechanical engineer by qualification, product designer. Started off my my working journey as a product designer. My first job was in the waste management industry, so I used to design equipments for the waste management sector. This was back in the UK, and then I had my own startup for a couple of years. I was a B2B scrap dealer, if I can put it in simple terms. And beyond that, I decided to join this organization, Saha Zero Waste, which today I've completed just more than 8 years in the organization. And I take care of all the sales operations. I specialize in a materials recovery facility, which is actually a factory setup for managing all the waste that comes out of anyone's bin, and also look at certain parts of plastics, so to speak. So that's my domain, and that's a bit of my background.
Great. No, thanks. Thanks for being on the show. Marwan?
Hi. So my name is Marwan Abu Bakr, and I'm one of the co-founders of Hasiudala Innovations. With inclusive circularity at the core of our ethos, we offer circular economy-centric business solutions that create a social and environment impact, simply put. So we integrate waste pickers into all our business models. Our prime objective is to make sure that anything that we offer as a solution has to be circular economy centric, and it must create an impact for the waste pickers that are in the waste space. We're based out of Bangalore, and we also offer services across the country. And a little bit about me, the entire reason I got into the waste space is because of my love for street dogs. I used to always promote adoption of street dogs, and one of the areas that I felt that required attention was, rather than buying bred dogs, you'd rather promote and adopt street dogs in the city. And during my time in all this promotion, there used to be a lot of dog bite cases in the city, and one of the areas of human-animal conflict was around waste. So where you would find waste on the streets, you would find a waste